Hey folks, Dr. Joe Esposito here. I am so glad you're with us today. Talking about two fun topics today. One topic we're going to start out with is, are you aging faster than you're supposed to? Now, this is a big topic because when you're younger, you think you're bulletproof. Everyone thinks you're going to live forever and you're super, and that's probably why we draft 18-year-olds, because they're bulletproof. And one of the reasons that happens is there's a part of your brain called the prefrontal cortex. And the prefrontal cortex is a part of the brain that develops usually around age 25 when you start to realize consequences. Before that, you don't understand fully the consequences that can happen due to your actions. So you do crazy things, you go, jumping out of airplanes or whatever it is you think is crazy. But after 25, you start to kind of settle down. And that's why it's kind of tough for people to make life decisions before age 25 because prefrontal cortex hasn't formed yet. And so sometimes you do things that you kind of regret, and that's common. A lot of people have done stupid things when they were younger. So when you're that young, you think, I'm going to live forever. I'm going to look like this. I'm going to feel like this. I'm going to have this energy. Then Father Time comes along, and we start to age. Now, you don't have to age as fast as you would think. In fact, I just saw something today. Dick Van Dyke is 95 years old, and he's still telling jokes, and he's as smart as he can be, and he showed his workout routine. So why is it that someone like Dick Van Dyke can be 95 and still entertaining when other people at 60 are on their deathbeds? Well, some of it is genetics, but some of the things that he did in his life, and he's done a lot of good things in his life, helped him slow down the aging process. And so that's what we need to talk about today. Are you aging faster than you're supposed to, and what are some signs of it? Because sometimes you don't know. Like, I can take your blood pressure and I can say, all right, you know what? You have high blood pressure. I can draw your blood and say, you know what? You have anemia. Or I can test you for diseases. But there are certain signs that pop up that are telling us that we're aging faster than we're supposed to. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So if your walking pace slows down when you're in your 40s, that may be a sign that you're just getting a little older. I mean, you don't see a lot of professional athletes in their 50s and 60s. Why? Because that's part of the natural aging process. Walking is one of the best exercises you can do. In fact, it's my favorite exercise because I can't do the things I used to do when I was younger because we'll get a little older. So if you want to start walking, that's a great thing to do. We always talked about 10,000 steps a day, and that was ideal. Studies are showing now that even 5,000 steps a day is good. So 4,000, I came up with a number, 4,962 or something weird like that. I remember the exact number, is when you get your maximum benefits. And after that, you don't see an incremental increase. Still good to do. Don't not do it. But just getting out moving is so important to the body. The body is designed to have motion. So if you're new to the show, I'm board certified in chiropractic, orthopedics, pain management. I'm double board certified in nutrition, certified in traumatic brain injury, a former dietitian, award-winning author. So I've got a good background in this. And one of the things we learned early on in my chiropractic career, one of my degrees, is that the spine has to be mobile. You have to have flexibility. And as you age, the joints start to lock up. It's called a fixation. The joints fixate and they don't move like they used to. And to this day, myself and all the doctors I work with, when we adjust a patient, we check the spine for mobility. And if the spine has mobility, there's nothing to adjust. If the spine is locked up or fixated, we go in and adjust that area, put the bones back in place, and restore normal motion. Motion is the key to a healthy spine and slowing down the aging process. So you have to have that motion in the joints. If you don't have it, if you have fixation, you will develop arthritis. I can never promise a patient that we can help them get better. The only promise I can give a patient is after I look at their x-rays, this problem is going to get worse if you don't do anything about it. And so I want to make sure that you're taking every precaution that you can to get well and stay well. And the number one thing you can do by far is keep all the joints mobile. There's 206 bones in the body. All the joints in the body, my team and I are all trained to mobilize any one of them, including the skull. So motion is the key. Your sacrum, your tailbone, right below your belt area, that joint is so important to have mobility. And that's why walking is so good, because it flexes and mobilizes the sacrum. Because in the sacrum, in the sacroiliac joint, the SI joint, the sacrum attached to your hips, there are nerves called proprioceptive fibers. Now, they're in all the joints, but there's a lot of them concentrated in the jaw and in the sacroiliac joint. And one of the things I see that really speeds up the aging process is when the sacroiliac joint is locked up. And I see this just from personal experience. So when a sacroiliac joint is locked up, the sacrum can't move properly. Now, why is that important? The sacrum has an important job. It pumps something called cerebrospinal fluid up your spine and into your brain. Now, every time you breathe, as we're talking today, every time you breathe, your sacrum and your occiput, the back of your skull, are moving up and down if you're healthy. So the sacrum and the occiput move, pumping cerebrospinal fluid up into the brain. That's the nourishing fluid for the brain and the spinal cord. If the sacrum is locked up or fixated, remember fixation? You can't pump cerebrospinal fluid. And if you can't pump cerebrospinal fluid, the brain can't get the nutrients that it needs. So if I had to give you one tip physically to keep you as young as possible, is make sure the sacrum and the occiput are moving and pumping cerebrospinal fluid properly. If you're doing that, that alone will make a tremendous difference, in my opinion, in helping slowing down the aging process for you. And my big concern I see, because I remember hanging out with an orthopedic surgeon a while ago, and I have a lot of friends that are surgeons, and he talked about how easy it is to fuse the sacrum onto the ilium. They just kind of go in there and lock it together, and boy, that solves so many people's back pain. Yeah, it does, but it locks up the sacrooccipital pump, and that becomes an issue. And as I'm talking, I remember he's retired at this point now, and he sat there and he rubbed his chin, and he said, "You know, Joe, I never thought of it like that before. Oh my God, you're right." He had this epiphany. He's just sitting in front of me that every joint that he fused, it's locked up the cerebrospinal fluid pumping mechanism. Never thought of it like that before. He always thought, well, if I fuse it, it won't move around. If it doesn't move around, it won't hurt. It won't hurt. I did a good job. But at what cost? And so that's why in pain management in our office, we try to do as least invasive treatments as possible for pain management. Chiropractic, obviously the number one treatment for pain. Most effective, least expensive treatment for pain. So if you have pain, that means there's a fixation. The joints are rubbing up against each other. They're wearing out. And so many times, all you have to do is mobilize that joint. Now, it may take several visits, but it's a heck of a lot less intrusive than surgery. Now, if you need surgery, get surgery. I'm not saying you don't need surgery, but it's a lot less intrusive to do it that way. So we mobilize the joint. Then we have a medical division, and we can do things like PRP. We can do spinal injections. We can do exosomes. We can inject cells or medicine even into the joint to try to get the inflammation down. Then we do a nutritional evaluation. We want to get you on an anti-inflammatory diet, which is the anti-aging diet. Same thing. So if we can get the digestive system working the best it can, because it gets weaker as you get older, get you on a good diet, get the joints mobilized, now we truly have an anti-aging protocol. You can take, surgery. You can have plastic surgery and look younger. Doesn't mean you're reversing the aging process or slowing down the aging process. Our goal is to actually get in there and treat the cause, not just the symptoms. So we're talking today about, are you aging faster than you're supposed to? Other problems you might start to see are sunspots. My grandmother used to call them liver spots. And you get them, they may appear on your face, your hands, your arms. They're common, especially if you're over 50. Sorry, guys. They're usually harmless, but you have to be concerned if they're black and not just, beige or brown, if they change shape, if they start to bleed, and if they have a rough border. Now, whenever you have a mole or any type of lesion on the skin, look at the border, and the border should be round and smooth. If it becomes ragged or starts to grow or change, you want to get yourself to a dermatologist right away. That's not something you want to jerk around with. And it's important to get out in the sun. I've talked about the sun a lot, but you don't want too much sun. And it's funny, I was, where was I? This weekend, I was out with some friends. We had dinner. And one of my friends said to me, he says, "Yeah, did you see that study out on sunscreen, how dangerous it is?" And I said, "I've been talking about that for years. There's some that are good, some that are bad. And I've been talking about that for years. And now finally, once again, it made mainstream media." So it goes into Dr. Joe is right column. The things we're talking about today will become mainstream health in the next 2, 3, 5 years, maybe sooner. But everything I've talked about over the 40 years that I've been lecturing eventually comes to the forefront. And Dr. Joe was right. Almost everything. I don't know if it's everything, but almost everything. So get out in the sun, 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. When your skin starts to feel warm and turn pink, get out of the sun. The safest thing you can do is cover up. You can be outside. Wear a big floppy hat. Wear long baggy sleeves. Wear baggy pants, like baggy scrubs. Those are the things that work best. If you ever go to, let's say, the Mediterranean or somewhere along the equator, You got the tourists. What are we doing? We're slapping on the sunscreen and we're putting on our sunglasses and putting on our zinc oxide on our noses. And the locals are laughing at us. Why would you lay in the sun, they say? All you got to do is cover up. And if you go down there, the locals are not wearing shorts. They're wearing long pants, baggy long pants, long sleeve shirts, hats. They're protecting themselves from the sun as opposed to trying to put on some lotion and then laying out in the sun. Well, it makes no sense. Why are you laying out in the sun if you're covering up? Just physically cover up your body. That's going to be the safest thing you can do. Now, I'm not saying sunscreen is bad, but there's a lot of them that are. Other signs that you may be aging faster than you're supposed to. How about the big one, memory problems? That becomes a big issue. Mild changes start right around your 40s. Sorry, folks. It can take longer to recall names, maybe some facts. You walk into a room, why am I here? But in most cases, Alzheimer's and other types of dementia don't happen until right around 65 or older. And dementia, let me make sure you're clear on this. Dementia is not a normal part of aging. We look at people, I use Dick Van Dyke just because I saw him today, or yesterday, whatever it was on TV. His brain was fine. He was telling jokes. He was cutting up. He was a little slower than he was. That's fine. But he was thin, so there's a key, too. You want to keep the body thin. It ages better. But he looked great. So what do you do about this? If memory problems, eat healthy. Most memory problems occur from a poor diet. So if you're eating things like alcohol, meat, sugar, dairy, coffee, soda, artificial sweetener, breads, cookies, cakes, donuts, pastas, smoking cigarettes, smoking pot, this is going to affect your brain. It has to. You're not immune. I have a friend who drinks a lot. And our friendship has kind of drifted apart, actually, because he drinks so much. And he keeps saying, I'm fine. Look how young I look. Well, testosterone is almost like non-existent. Liver issues, blood pressure issues. You can't outrun this stuff, folks. You can't outrun the fork. If you're eating bad foods, you will get caught. Nature will get you, I promise. Staying socially active is really important. I was just a guest on a show, and we were talking about things that can lead to brain issues, and one of them is loneliness. And it's a tough thing. Now, I like being alone. I personally enjoy my alone time. But again, I like to be gregarious too. I see patients. We do radio. We do television. We do live events. So I'm okay having alone time because I have so much interaction with people. If you don't have that interaction with people, find something to do. I knew somebody once, an older woman, and she said, I think I'm an alcoholic because she had heard that if you drink alone, it's a problem. Well, she used to have a little vermouth. Sometimes, like not even often, once or twice a week, maybe she'd have a little sip of vermouth. So she said, I think I'm an alcoholic. I better join AA. And she did. I don't think she was an alcoholic. I think she just needed social interaction. And the AA meetings happen all the time, all day, every day. Whenever you are lonely, go to an AA meeting. So I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm saying it was great because that helped her issue of being lonely. So it's important to get interaction. Now, as we get older, parts of our body don't heal like they used to. That's why nutrition is such a key. We don't absorb nutrients like we used to. So that's why I say the minimum supplements you should be taking, absolute minimum, would be Dr. Joe's Super Greens and Dr. Joe's Essential Source. They're 2 powders. They taste great. I like the mint Super Greens. In fact, I just gave some to one of my bosses at the studio, and he saw me and he said, thank you. He says, I've always taken the plain. He says, you gave me the mint. It's a game changer. So much sweeter. It's so much tastier. So Super Greens and Essential Source, minimum supplements every day. If you're not getting out in the sun, I'm begging you, please take vitamin D. 5 drops of vitamin D a day. Dr. Joe's vitamin D. All these are on the website, drjoe.com. So that's key. And then eating right. If you go to our website and type in, so what can I eat? We have a whole lecture. It's me in the studio all by myself. And we're talking about what to eat. I wrote a book called Eating Right for the Health of It. Tells you what to eat, has recipes in it. We have the supplements. We have protocols. If you follow us on social media, we post every single day. We post social media information on tips on how to get you well. I can't make this any easier for you. So if you go to the website, drjoe.com, spend a little time on the website, search a little bit. You'll find all sorts of good stuff there. The book's available there. Follow us on social media. At Dr. Joe Esposito is my handle. So Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. At Dr. Joe Esposito. And then we can post for you information. And if you have questions, send them to me through the website. A lot of the posts we come up with from questions you send us on the website, drjoe.com. So your homework assignment right now, do it right now before you forget, at Dr. Joe Esposito, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So that's going to give you interaction. It's also going to stimulate the brain. Your brain needs three things: oxygen, stimulation, and nutrition in order to work properly. Nutrition, we talked about supplements. I also take nitric oxide to help my brain too, because it opens up my blood vessels. So you can get that on the website too. Be careful with the nitric oxide. It might give you way too much energy. I have to take mine in the morning. If I take it at night, I can't sleep. So I know people think, well, that's a good thing. But I don't drink coffee. I don't do any stimulants. Super Green Essential Source, nitric oxide, B complex, and adrenal support. Let me tell you, you'll be buzzing. You won't need any other stimulants, and you'll save money. When you start taking supplements, you're not taking all these artificial junk foods. You're not taking the stimulants like coffee. You actually save money in most cases by taking the supplements. And you feel better, and it's good for you. I can't make it easier for you, folks. I really don't know what else to do. Now, if you do have a health problem, you want to come see us, we have offices in Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb. We would love to be your doctors. So go to the website, drjoe.com. Just book an appointment now. Do it right now, because the biggest complaint, and I have it every day, people laugh because I say this on every show. Dr. Joe, why didn't I do this sooner? Why did I suffer for so long? My life could have been so much better had I come to see you sooner. Not everyone. We can't help everyone. But major majority of patients, when they do what we say, are thrilled that they took our advice. So you can book an appointment right online, drjoe.com. The initial visit is normally $375. We've reduced that to $249. That's an exam, x-rays, consultation, first adjustment, going over the x-rays on the next visit, and a complete nutrition evaluation. Talk about value, that's worth probably $700, $800. So just make the appointment now and get it over with. And we accept insurances, and we take car accident cases. In fact, we teach doctors and lawyers about how to deal with car accidents. So you might see all this advertising, come see us, blah, 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 big settlements. I teach the doctors and lawyers how to deal with the case, not the settlement, how to deal with the case so that the patient gets a better settlement, but more importantly, they get better. So if you want to make an appointment, drjoe.com. Other signs that you're getting old. You're sore all the time. You wake up stiff. Anybody do that? Achy joints. Now, one of the reasons we get achy joints is because as we get older, our circulation drops. And so we don't have blood flowing, carrying nutrients into the joints and carrying away waste products. So it's important that we keep those joints mobile. We talked about that earlier. If you're just tuning in, we talked about joint mobility. Keeping those joints mobile is the key, ultimate key to slowing down the aging process. If you have achy joints, the joints may be rubbing up against each other, and that's called arthritis, osteoarthritis. Osteoarthritis is always a physical problem. Always a physical component, I should say. Rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disease. That's a whole nother lecture for another time. But if you have aches and pains and soreness, folks, just come see us. Let's realign those joints. Let's get the muscles balanced. Let's get you eating right. Let's fix the digestive system and stop complaining. I joke sometimes with patients. I said, like to a woman, I said, your husband will be sending me flowers. And every now and then, one of my doctors gets flowers or gift basket or something like that to say thank you, not only for fixing them, but for fixing their spouse. Because it's not just you I'm worried about, it's everyone you interact with. Everyone you interact with is dealing with your health issues. And if these are things that can easily be fixed and you're not fixing them, shame on you. You're ruining their lives. If you do it to yourself, that's your choice. But don't ruin everybody around you. If you have health issues, come see us. Let's see if we can fix it. Again, you can book an appointment right online. drjoe.com is the website. Halfway down, it's all 4 of our offices listed. Click on the office, make an appointment right online. We'll call you probably within 24 hours, let you know if the time's available, give you all the information, tell you how we can bill your insurance for you. I don't know how to make it easier. I keep saying that today. I don't know why that's such a thought in my head today, but it couldn't be easier to become a patient with us. So anyway, if you have achy joints, that could be a sign you're aging too quickly. Dry skin, that can be a problem. Sometimes what happens is, as we get older, we eat a lot less food, especially the very elderly. They don't have much of an appetite, and so they don't eat. And if they do eat, many times it's just small amounts like crackers or things like that. But the key is you have to make sure you're getting some fat in your diet. These low-fat and no-fat diets I'm not a big fan of. The best sources of fats are whole food, plant-based fats. What does that mean? Avocados, nuts, seeds. This is the best source of fats that you can have, and if you're eating it in a whole food form, that's great. If you're taking it as a processed oil, even extra virgin organic olive oil, I use it sometimes. That's not the best. It's good, but it's not the best. So when it comes to oils, try to get it from your foods. I don't like fish as a source of oil. Fish many times is contaminated with mercury or heavy metals. If you're going to eat fish, I wish you wouldn't. But if you're going to eat fish, make sure it's wild caught only. Do not eat farm raised. Farm raised, I'm not a fan of for multiple reasons. Chemicals, low omega-3 fatty acid levels, toxic waste products, heavy metals, mercury. Again, I don't eat animal products. I haven't had an animal product in 35 years. More than half my life, I haven't had an animal product. So there's no reason why you need to have them. If you have to have them, and I wish you wouldn't, if you have to have them, I wish you would do organic only. Take out those steroids and hormones and chemicals. Other signs you're getting old, or aging too quickly, I should say. Having trouble getting out of bed, climbing stairs, your thicker waistline. Women over 35 inches and men over 40 inches, that should be a red light warning, screaming at you, punching you in the head, going, you got to do something about this. This is a very serious warning sign. So if you have a waist, women over 35, men over 40, you probably need to come see us immediately. We have a plan. We have a weight loss protocol. It's on the website, drjoe.com, and it's a 21-day plan that we start you out with, and it kind of resets your body. And once the brain is reset, it's a lot easier to go down that natural, healthy way to go. Vision problems, of course, can be part of aging. I have macular degeneration. I was told I would go blind. By taking super greens, an essential source, nitric oxide, my other supplements, eating a plant-based diet, getting chiropractic care. If you go to my website, type in macular degeneration, there are pictures of my eyes, the inside of my eyes, and each year I go, my eye gets better and better and better. And my eye doctor said that's impossible. No one gets better from macular degeneration, but yet she has my pic, and she agrees with me, of course, and she says, she sends so many patients to our website to get supplements. She goes, I'd say 4 or 5 times a day I'm sending patients to your website to get supplements because I've seen it in your eyes. I know you can't lie to me because I'm your doctor and I have the pictures. So there's no reason why a lot of the things that affect us when we're aging need to be as dramatic as they are. Again, keep the joints mobile. Number one thing. So if you have neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, numbness, tingling, headaches, folks, just come see us. I don't know why you're not. It's insane in my mind why you're not doing it because you have an answer. Now, can we help everyone? No. But a major majority of patients get amazing results when they do what we say, of course. Change your diet. Eat more fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds. Super greens, essential source. I take digestive enzymes, Dr. Joe's digestive enzymes, whenever I eat a cooked meal. Because as I'm aging, my enzyme levels are dropping. I want to keep those enzyme levels up. So there's protocols that we have that there's no reason why you shouldn't be following them. I don't know why you're not. It's cheaper than anything you're doing right now in most cases. It's quicker, safer. I can't come up with a reason why you're not doing it. So if you want to make an appointment, drjoe.com. We have offices in Marietta, Duluth, Stockbridge, and West Cobb. If you've ever been in a car accident, if the car was damaged, you were damaged 100% of the time in my experience because you are not stronger than solid steel or plastic or metal or whatever it is your car's made out of. So if you get hit, even your seatbelt holds your body in, but nothing holds your head in. And your head snaps around like a ping pong ball. So I've seen it. I've seen videos on it. We've done studies on it. The seatbelt is great for saving lives. It's not good for whiplash and brain injuries, traumatic brain injuries, and neck injuries. So the sooner you get to us from a car accident, the better off we're all going to be. And it can affect your case. So if somebody hits you and you wait to come see us, they may say, well, you waited, you weren't hurt. If you caused the accident, guess what? You will still be hurt. You probably want to come see us as well. Why didn't I? No excuses. You were hurt, get it fixed. So folks, I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. We're talking today about signs that you're aging too fast. If you have any questions, send them to me through the website, drjoe.com. To make an appointment to come see us, which you need to do right now, drjoe.com, book it there. Social media, follow us at Dr. Joe Esposito. I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. Tell your friends about the show.